Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're in the NGO sector, you already know reporting is just a massive part of the job. But let's be real for a second. It often feels like a completely tedious, frustrating chore, right? It's usually the thing you're doing at the very end of a long, exhausting week out in the field. But today, we're going to completely transform your NGO reporting process from a heavy administrative burden into a powerful storytelling tool, a tool that not only proves your impact, but actually helps secure future funding.
So, let's dive right into a question that honestly haunts a lot of field officers and MEAL folks out there. Think back to the very last time you sat down to write an activity report. What was the hardest part for you? Was it just that blank page staring back at you? Or was it something else entirely?
If you've ever found yourself just staring at a screen, battling these exact frustrations, trust me, you are absolutely not alone. Maybe you didn't know exactly what the donor actually wanted to see. Maybe you didn't have the right data on hand, or you really struggled to describe the actual results instead of just listing out your tasks. Or perhaps you found it kind of difficult to express complex community impacts in English. Well, these are the most common hurdles in the field, and this explainer is built exactly for you to overcome them. Today, we are tackling a complete reporting makeover in 6 quick steps: the power of reporting, the clear quality standard, the HORCFO structure, showing what really changed, fixing common mistakes, and finally, AI tools for writers.
Section 1. The power of reporting. Why your words matter. Think of reporting as that absolutely crucial puzzle piece that brings monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning all together. MEL is the engine, right? It gives you the raw data and the evidence, but your report, that's the vehicle that actually delivers it. It connects your daily activities to the broader accountability you owe to donors and the communities you serve, while also capturing all those vital lessons you've learned for future projects.
Because here's the thing. A great report doesn't just sit on a supervisor's desk collecting dust. It does serious heavy lifting for your whole organization. It proves real impact by showing exactly how lives were transformed. It secures funding by building totally bulletproof donor trust. It ensures compliance by giving you an audit-ready record of funds. It helps management pivot and guide project adjustments when things just aren't working. And on a personal level, it advances your career by marking you as a highly reliable, analytical professional.
Moving right along to Section 2, the clear quality standard, a writer's checklist. I want you to keep this acronym, CLEAR, in your head as your ultimate quality standard for literally every document you submit. Your report has to be complete, meaning absolutely zero required sections are left blank. It must be linked, so every single activity ties directly back to a project goal. It needs evidence. We're talking hard numbers and facts here, not vague feelings. It absolutely must be accurate, reflecting totally honest data straight from the field. And finally, reader-friendly. You want to use simple, clear language that anyone, from a local government official to a major international donor, can instantly understand.
Section 3. The 6 parts, HRCFO, structuring your success.
Okay, the big takeaway here is to memorize HARCFO so you never accidentally skip a required section again. It stands for Header, Activities, Results, Challenges, Finance, and Outlook. And a really great little memory trick for this is the phrase, happy activities really change future outcomes. If you just build your report around these 6 pillars, you're going to naturally create this incredibly comprehensive narrative of your project's entire life cycle.
Now, when you hit the F for finance, you don't want to just list what you spent. You always compare what was planned versus what was actually spent. For instance, you might show that you spent $200 under budget on materials, but $500 over on the facilitator. This exact level of transparent, comparative reporting is what builds serious trust with your funders.
Section 4. Showing what really changed. Results over activities. Using a logical framework, we can clearly separate what you delivered, which is the output, from what actually changed in people's lives, which is the outcome. Let's say your activity is building a latrine. The output is the physical latrine itself, but the outcome? That's the community actually using that latrine, which leads to improved health. Your report literally has to reach that outcome level.
Think about the difference between these two approaches. If you just write, "We trained 30 women on savings," well, you're only telling me what you did. But if you write, 28 of 30 trained women, or 93%, opened a savings account within 1 month, boom, you are showing me what actually changed. We're moving away from merely listing tasks to proving a real-world, measurable result.
And listen, vague words are your absolute worst enemy here. Saying something like, many people came and it was good, tells a donor absolutely nothing useful. You have to anchor your achievements with precise, factual data. Say something like, on 12 March, we trained 34 women and 88% passed the test. Now that is undeniable evidence of success.
Section 5. Fixing common mistakes. Check before you submit.
Consider this your personal pre-flight checklist to empower yourself and ensure totally solid compliance. Ask yourself, are you guilty of any of these? Like, are you skipping the challenges section just because you're maybe a bit afraid to admit things went wrong? Don't do that. Honest reporting about challenges and how you adapted to them actually builds a ton of trust. Or are you submitting late? A late report can literally delay funding for the entire organization. Just run through these 8 traps every single time you sit down to write.
A massive part of fixing mistakes is checking our language. The words we use show exactly how we think about the people we partner with. We absolutely must use respectful, people-centered phrasing. So instead of saying the poor or the disabled, which, let's face it, reduces complex human beings to a single condition, we say people living in poverty or persons with disabilities. This honors the dignity and the humanity of the communities we are literally there to serve.
Finally, Section 6, AI tools for writers, modernizing your workflow. Tools like Grammarly and ChatGPT are honestly revolutionary for NGO workers. It's kind of like having a highly supportive manager or a dedicated editor sitting right there next to you. They can take rough, hurried field notes and turn them into beautifully polished, grammatically correct insights. Now, obviously they don't do the field work for you, but they absolutely make sure your hard work is communicated perfectly.
You can even lean on specific AI tools for specific bottlenecks. Need to analyze quantitative data and show percentages? Jump into Excel or Power BI's AI features. Got to summarize 2 hours of messy focus group recordings? Otter.ai can transcribe the whole shebang for you. Need to translate an Arabic field report into an English donor report? Google Translate and ChatGPT can do all that heavy lifting. If you use them responsibly, they will save you hours and hours of frustration.
To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final thought, a question that ties right back to the O in our HARSFO acronym. What is your outlook? Next time you sit down to write an activity report, how are you going to apply the clear standard, use precise numbers, and leverage these AI tools to make your report not just a list of tasks, but a completely undeniable story of human impact? The power to secure funding and change lives is literally right there at your fingertips. Get out there and tell that story.